G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. How are we all doing today? Oh baby, I'm really pushing it to get a video in today because the next week is looking mighty miserable. So hopefully I can get a video recorded in the meantime besides today, because there's only really time to do one in my schedule. But if there's a video that's up a bit later than usual in the next bit of week, that's why. We've got a lot of rain coming down. But that has brought a topic out of me, because now, at least in Victoria, we don't really have this issue, unless you're just a little wussy boy or girl who can't handle a little bit of chili. But the topic I thought I'd talk about is, man, bikers, we hate it, and that's riding seasons. There's nothing worse than being limited to being able to ride your bike to only, you see, oh god, I missed the turn, a few months of the year. So obviously if you buy a bike, you want to use the damn thing all of the time. Like, I use my bike throughout the year. That's why I got so many Ks on it, because well, you know, by commuting standards at least, not crossing country levels of Ks. But I tell you what, riding seasons are a pain in the anus, because imagine buying your bike, it's nice and beautiful, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I can't really ride because it's snowing, and you're like, well, I really wish I could just, you know, cruise a little bit longer with the boys, but no, the roads are icy. Now, dealing with ice sounds like a shit time, honestly. We don't really have that issue here. Now, I want to go up to one of the mountains, but maybe not in the snowy times, because we have there's one mountain, it's not too far away, it's out in Buang. If you're in Victoria, you probably know that one. There gets a bit of snow there. That's probably the furthest I've gone, and I went there in bloody summer, so it was still 6 degrees, but there's no ice. But what I'm saying is, I don't have any issue riding throughout winter, because riding in winter is not exactly a problematic time, alright? Now, I mean, when it's like 2 degrees to 1 degree, it's quite nippy. That's why I bought these gloves. These are much better than my old winter gloves. And they're not as waterproof, I don't think, but they are still waterproof, so they're a bit confusing. But riding in all kinds of weather, man, it's good for you. But it does get a bit nippy. But the only time I really don't have riding is when we have a lot of rain, like the next week, alright? So it's the only thing about the colder months that seems to really suck. Now, it happens throughout all the months, don't get me wrong, but it's particularly the colder months that have the issues with all the wet, you know? Because the roads are always damp, and there's always a bit of standing water here and there. Now, if you hit a big puddle on a bike, it's basically a good night. But basically the point being is, it's never an issue riding around in the winter time, or the autumn time, or the spring time, or the summer time. Where if you're living in a colder country, say in Europe or in the America and the northern areas, I don't know about the southern states, if they get how cold they get, I'm gonna be honest. Never really learnt my Texas weather, but I'm assuming it doesn't happen much there. But if you're dealing with bloody snow, or God forbid tornadoes and stuff, and you got to worry about hurricanes and all that kind of shit all the time, I feel like your bike riding would suffer greatly, because, man, I've already said it once, and I'll say it again, is imagine, you know, you're having this lovely little bike in your garage just sitting there collecting dust, and you're just bloody breaking your heart, honestly. Oh boy. I really wish people would start accelerating, making me go through all this filtering business. But yes, bikers, man, shit, we hate that. We hate those seasons. So, if you're fortunate enough to live in a place that doesn't really have riding seasons, I guess you can't really sympathise with the others as much, because we don't really understand the struggle like they do. Don't get me wrong, it's still a bit like, oh, that's kind of crap, you can't ride and whatnot, but we don't really know the struggle, because like the only time most people don't ride is in the wet, and even then there's some absolute units who just don't give a damn and will ride in anything. Like, I remember one good time I rode in summer, and it was supposed to rain late in the evening, and I finished work at like 12 p.m. PM? 12 p.m. Yeah, I'm a bit so I finished work, and then it started pelting down. I was wearing a t-shirt, right? No gear, like an absolute champion. But yeah, oh boy, it stung a little bit. And I was like, oh, if I was in England, this would be a daily occurrence. Thank God I don't have to deal with that. So Melbourne only deals with every season, every day, all the time, basically, where it rains a little bit, it's sunny, it's cold, it's warm. That's what they call Melbourne, the 4 season days, mate. And if you come to Melbourne, you'll be wondering why a lot of people carry jackets on a warm day, because that stuff happens here all the time. But I'll take a bit more of an unexpected day than a day where it's just absolutely miserable the whole time. Because if you're dealing with minus 15 degrees Celsius, I don't know what that'd be in bloody Fahrenheit. If you're dealing with days where it's like, I don't know, 32 degrees Fahrenheit or less, I'd imagine that's pretty cold. Damn, son. I could not imagine. That would drive me nuts having to worry about the seasons like that, because, man, fuck that. Do let me know down below what you guys think, or how you handle your riding seasons. Are you the kind that has to put your bike away in the shed on a battery tender the whole time? Because we all know starting a bike and just idling it's not really going to do anything for it, unless you just want to run the engine so it, it gets a bit of the shit out of it. But are you that kind of riding season where you really can't get out? Do you just have really wet seasons? Do you have really dry seasons which are good for riding? Like, what are your riding seasons like where you guys live? How do the conditions affect the road and all that? Let me know. I'm interested, because it's always nice to hear about different places and how they operate. But basically in Melbourne, winter's the only time I would consider out of season ride, naturally, because it's winter, for God's sakes. But winter doesn't stop me from riding, it just gets a little uncomfortable. And I suppose you can say that about even the colder winters, like in America or Europe or anything where it's snowing, because look, it's not that it's unrideable sometimes it really is just that, it's just uncomfortable. Little CB125, let's go. But also, I'd much rather ride in 7 degrees, call that a freezing day, than bloody minus 17 degrees or something around those parts. Because, mate, if water's freezing, I'm staying inside, brother. I don't care, I'm taking the car, I want a heater. We don't really get below 1 degree here. I think maybe I may have felt 0, maybe, when I was out in the middle of nowhere during winter, but I can't be certain, because I only know it's... The lowest I've seen is 1 degree Celsius, so I'm sure to some people, maybe if you're in Russia, that'd be like, in winter, 0 degree be a fucking good time. But unfortunately, in Australia, 0 degrees is well, it's a rarity, that's for sure. Mount Buller obviously gets cold, but who's riding around Mount Buller during bloody winter time? That's a bit of a strange call. Get the bloody snow tyres on and everything, go for a send on the adventure bikes, maybe, or the scramblers. But yeah, you don't really see that happening here. Like I said, we don't really have riding seasons. Now, obviously, there is a riding season, okay? That being, I don't like take my bike out unless it's sunny and warm kind of riders. I have a mate like this and it makes me laugh. I was like, why would you spend over 20 grand on a bike and then just not use it half the time? Now, he has an S1000R, a brand new one, okay? Delicious looking black bike. But he doesn't ride it very much. He had an R7 for 3 years or something. He only rode it like 5,000 clicks. I'm like, brother, what are you doing? I haven't even had my bike for 3 years and I've only got 22,000. Pull your head in. You're starving your bike of a good time. I don't want to be in first gear for this. Let's just sneak all the ways to the frontsies here. Oh, okay, I'm not going to sneak past this car, but I feel like that would be rude. Oh, baby. Oh. That's good enough. But, dude, yeah, this whole week sort of inspired me to, make this video. Now, if I'm kind of rambling or if I'm repeating myself, don't worry, alright? I'm not having a stroke, I just haven't slept, okay? Cut me some slack. I'm struggling today, alright? The boys and I had a good pub sesh last night, and then we went to work at 9 in the morning. Also, fantastic driving in front of us, mate. Couldn't even colour inside the lines if he wanted to. Isn't it gorgeous? But yeah, making videos on no sleep, well, I'll tell you what, you notice it. I actually find not sleeping at all is still easier to record than sleeping very little, because I feel like when you sleep very little, you just wake up tired as hell. But when you don't sleep at all, you're sort of still like hella pumped up or G'd up. You're still tired in the morning, but you sort of get that adrenaline rush. But yeah, you'll really notice me when I'm tired. I'll start stuttering like a bastard. Fortunately, today looking pretty good now in terms of my current ride. I think I'll be able to make it home before it starts pissing down. It's the beginning of the lot of rain. I think we've got like 5 or 7 days forecasted to rain. Doesn't mean we're not going to be able to record it all. It just means that recording's going to be a little bit dicey. Hopefully I can get something in there done. I was contemplating making a voiceover style video in hypotheticals. I want to get to see what you guys think of the idea. Say like if I pull up a bike, let's give an example. Say it's, what's a good bike I choose? You know what, let's be really cliche and say, oh, you know, the R1, okay? The R1's got a this CC engine, it makes this much power, etc. Like sort of a stat read-off sheet, maybe. Because I know some people enjoy that, just learning about the stats of bikes. I don't know if it'll go down too well or too badly. You never really know till you try. But let me know down below what you think of such a video. I think it could be interesting. It's more about just learning about different kinds of bikes. It wouldn't be an always thing. It'd just be a thing to sort of get in there when I can't get out and do a video. That way I have more options of recording, so I can keep up some consistency. I did have a plan of doing that with the when I was playing Ride, like the games. I did that once with the original Fireblade, and I said I'd do more, but I never did. Because those videos took a lot longer to make than I thought they would. But I did enjoy doing that. There's potential that it might do well, but I'd rather obviously record with the real thing. But it's a lot harder to get the real bike in person because, well, man, I'm not a big YouTube channel, so getting bits and bobs probably ain't going to be the easiest. But we try, we do our best, and then we move, alright? But let me know down below what you think, guys. Other than that, this is today's video done and dusted. I hope you've all enjoyed. Do leave a like, comment, and subscribe and all that deliciousness. And as always, take it easy, keep it cheesy, leave a message in the Discord or on the Reddit, and have a good day. Peace, bye!